for record. All right, we're on. And welcome to the call. Can you guys hear me? Just give me some feedback that somebody can hear me.
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, awesome, fantastic. So it's been several weeks. It's been since before my trip to Seattle. I guess that's been 4 weeks since the last call, and I'm glad that we've been able to keep things going and touching base and sharing experiences through the page. But I really find this time very special for those that are here. I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody out so that we don't have a bunch of noise. All right, cool. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through real quick, and I'm going to make a list of who's here. For those people that are on their phone, I can't see their name, then I'm going to ask you, I'll go ahead and unmute real quick. Who is last 4 digits of the phone number 0420? Who is that?
Gina from Tula.
Okay, gotcha. Fantastic. 0420, Gina. Okay, I look forward to hearing you talk about some things we've been discussing in private. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and meet you out, Gina. All right, and then we've got, who is at 4245? Who's that?
Kristen.
Okay, awesome. Okay. And you've had a heck of an awesome week. I can't wait to hear from you either. All right, cool. All right, so we've got, let's see, I've got FC's iPad. I'm not sure who that is. FC's iPad?
It's Felicia Cherry.
Okay, oh, okay, awesome, gotcha, cool. All right, so FC's iPad, so I'll just put iPad equals Felicia. Okay, cool. All right, and then we got Marjorie, we got Deanna, we got Marjorie. Let's see if anybody else has plugged in. Okay, cool. All right, well, we're going to get rolling. We're going to get rolling with the team that is here. Typically, we'll find people chime in. So if you're interested in hanging on until the end of the call, we may have some people chime in to share their experiences. But we got a lot of stuff to cover. We basically got, I mean, as far as a time frame to cover, want to hear from you guys as far as what has your last 30 days been like, because it's been a while since we've gotten together as a team and talked. So for those of you guys that are here, especially Felicia, this I think is your first call in a group format, want to kind of hear from you, really take what you can away from the different experiences that are here. And Deanna, it looks like you chimed in first, so I'm going to let you take it away first. I know that you've had kind of a reinvigoration of your intention, and want to hear about that and see what that really means for you. And I really want to get feedback from everybody that's watched the Fed Up movie. I know Kristen has had an absolutely life-transforming experience over the last week because she's actually been applying what has been shared in that movie. And the message of this group is really the same as what's in that movie, but I think that the movie has really helped to help us dial in on that and get really, really clear on how critical it is that we do this. So, Deanna, take it away. You're unmuted. Let's hear what is worth celebrating over the last 30 days and the last week. Want to hear that, and then want to go into what your biggest struggles have been, more a little bit about your refocus and reintention. And so, take it away. You're on.
Okay. Actually, the last 30 days, I have been completely unplugged from. I don't want to say completely unplugged. I've been trying to do the right things, but I have not been focused in means of meal planning. Haven't done any.
Hold on. Let's focus on the good stuff first.
Okay.
let's focus on the good stuff. What is worthy of saying, okay, this is what's good, even if it's just the last week? I want to start with something positive. What's the most positive thing about what's going on in your journey right now?
I watched Fed Up, and that
huge, great.
Yeah, and that was really eye-opening for me because even though I felt like I was making good choices on some of the things that I would do when I would go out to eat, not really realizing, I guess, how important it is to know where you're going and how they prepare the foods and how they process the foods and what's going into them and what is being changed as far as whether or not it's organic and how they're cooking it and everything else total. I mean, I don't do soft drinks. I don't do, a lot of what was in that movie, but there was so many things that I just kind of had aha moments about, like condiments, salad dressings, you know, cheese, processed cheese, dairy, all that kind of stuff. I just was like, okay, so I may not be doing the worst things, but I'm still not doing the best things. And I've been I've been struggling because I've plateaued as far as I don't eat a ton of food. But what I have been eating, I thought I was doing pretty good at, as far as, you know, making sure it was salads or grilled fishes or veggies or what have you. And I'm not really losing any weight. So I think I am going to make a conscious effort to go to Sprouts or Central Market or whatever and make sure that it's nothing but fruits, vegetables, no sugar, no stevia. And the stevia thing was just mind-boggling to me, because realizing that it's a chemical process that happens in your brain, whether it is sugar or something that tastes like sugar, your body is still going to have the same reaction and process it the same way. So that was huge for me. That was really huge. Because I thought, oh, you're doing stevia, you're not doing sugar, you're only eating fruit, you know what I'm saying? So I really thought that I was doing all the right things, but I'm going to look at this completely different. And really pay attention to what I'm picking up and putting in my cart.
Can I interrupt for a second?
Sure.
Okay, so all that stuff is true. It's all important stuff. But one of the things, and this is something that Setup really didn't touch on a whole lot, is that we've got to be eating the right things at the right times. And so that is, like, if people just eat salads all day, they're not going to get where they want to go, because it's not enough fuel for your metabolic fire. And so it's, again, I'm going to ask you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how well are you doing eating your portions every 2 to 3 hours? How well are you doing on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 meaning excellent, I'm on it, I never miss.
I'm eating every couple of hours, but I was doing mainly protein shakes, protein bars, salad, and fruit. That's
Okay.
my main thing that I've been doing. So I'm probably not doing the right thing.
Okay, so a lot of the protein bars have added sugar. Okay, so you've got, it's not a pure protein source, and so fruit also added sugar. So what I'm guessing is that since you're not really taking the time to follow your portion guide, you're getting too many carbohydrates, and you're not going to get the results that you want if you continue to have those carbohydrates. Now again, I applaud your focus on the sugar, because that's not everything. It's a huge part of it. Yeah. But we've just still got to, I mean, you could eliminate all the sugar and just eat vegetables all day, but you're still not going to have the fats and the proteins that you need in order to have your body operate the way it needs to operate. Makes sense? But this is good. It's hugely eye-opening, and it really helps everyone see how important the nutritional component is. Because, they kept saying exercise is not the key. It's not. We cannot exercise our way out of this. We can't do it. So, like, I don't think you were around when Dan came through, but Dan was a truck driver who just all he could do was eat right and walk around the block. Not necessarily the block, but he could walk for 30 minutes when he parked his truck a few times a week. And the guy, he did it. He was rigorous. He was on it, and he dropped 65 pounds in like 4 months. It was remarkable. But he was very, very serious about his water intake, and he was very serious about getting his meals in, getting the right portions at the right times, and boom. And again, no intense activity. Intense activity, or just exercise in general, has its benefits, but exercise is a very poor catalyst for fat loss. And this is why. Because if we overeat our carbohydrates, and like when I was going through my bodybuilding phase, my mass gaining phase, I was working out like a madman, but I continued to gain, because that's what I programmed myself to do, because I was eating a higher carbohydrate diet. Make sense? Right, yeah. Cool, awesome. I'm thrilled to the call. Glad to see that you are refocused. So what I heard you say, the number one most important thing for you to do is get the Sprouts, get the natural foods, no sugar added, fruits, vegetables, proteins. Fruits, vegetables, proteins, and fats. Fantastic. I mean, that's really the fundamental of what we're after, and finding ways to be consistent in that, making sure that we're doing our measuring, making sure that we're getting our timing, and the timing, combining, all that stuff. That's the preparation, timing, combining. That's everything. That's the key. And the more we focus on that, and it's a skill, just like when you're playing an instrument. The more we focus on it, the better we get at it. But if we go through periods of roll, let's say we do it for a week and then we don't do it for 3 weeks and we come back again, it's going to drive us nuts because we can't gain any momentum that way. We can't, you know, and you can go ahead.
The Advocare cleanse, the 10 day, starting tomorrow. And then, so that's going to be no processed foods as well, and no sugar other than fruit for 10 days. And I was going to ask you too, I guess on the Shakeologies or protein bars or what have you, I mean, what's the best, just one Shakeology a day? I mean, because I'm having a hard time with having enough time to plan everything. I mean, my husband works 6 days a week. I work 5 to 6 days a week. And just having enough time set aside to do all of the errands that have to be done, plus meal prep and everything else, I have a hard time getting all of that done.
Guess what? Everybody does. But what you have to understand, this is where the game is won. You have got to understand how important it is. And you have to understand the price you pay for not doing it. And unfortunately, the price that you pay, you don't feel it today. You don't feel it tomorrow. You feel it 2 years down the road. And so it's really easy to say this is not important. But that is the most important thing. You must find the time. You must make the time. If you don't make the time, you will pay the price, and the price will be 10 times greater down the road. That's really important. So you've just got to do it. You've got to say no to things that are not as important as your health and your fitness. You've got to say no to things that are not, you know, that are other people's emergencies. This is a time management issue and an energy management issue. Because there are things, you've got to take an honest look at yourself and say, where am I doing things that are not critical, that are not a part of my personal purpose and passion? And you can probably look at a lot of things and find, okay, this is not a priority in my life, but I'm spending time doing it. And you've got to say no. You do. And when you say no, you create the time for the things that are most important. People will also respect you more for standing up for yourself and saying, no, sorry, I can't do that. You need to treat your meal prep time, and you need to treat your exercise time as investments in the bank. You've got to make the time. You've got to carve it out. You've got to protect it. You do, because everything out there is trying to steal your attention and steal your time. And if you allow the outside world to steal your attention and steal your time, you will be bankrupt in your health. You will be bankrupt in every aspect of your life. You will. Even your relationships. You've got to stop, say no, protect the time, make the investment.
Thank you.
There's no other way around it. There's not. You know, and so the things that the different books that I can recommend, you know, The Powerful Engagement, The Way You're Working Isn't Working, those are both amazing books for helping you get into this energy management mindset. You know, the 10X rule is awesome for learning how to say no. I've got to focus my energy on what is important. It's going to help you with your business too. The way we do one thing in one area of life, we do it in other areas. So if you get this mastered, Deanna, you're going to find that your working life is so much more enjoyable and rewarding. And you may need to go above and beyond and hire an energy management or business coach to help you see where your blind spots are. That's above and beyond what we're doing right here, but I think that it may benefit you. Okay. It's certainly a part of what we do, but if you want to really take this thing by the horn, you may want to get enrolled in Franklin Covey's training, the 5 quadrants training. That may be a great place to start, you know? And then once you've got that, training and that understanding, now it's a practice of living your life by those principles. This is big stuff. This is awesome stuff.
Okay. Yeah, it was awesome. I closed 11 loans this month without any, with no assistant, no nothing. It was just me. So that's where I was working in my business and not on my business, and it's been a struggle. So
well, this is the thing about entrepreneur mentalities, is that we are self-domesticating, that we will make ourselves do things that other people won't do. We'll push ourselves harder than anyone else, and we have to take a look at where am I pushing myself. Because while you're pushing for the loan, pushing for the business, your attention is not on your health and not on your wellness. And so as you push towards your business, unless you're balanced, unless you've got everything, unless you have got your time protected to invest in yourself, you sacrifice your health for your business. You do that down the road, 6 to 10 years, you're in big trouble.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
It's a hard lesson to learn, but when you do learn it, it is true freedom. So you got to say no. You got to protect your workouts, protect your nutrition time, protect your prep as if it is the absolute most important thing on your schedule. And when you do that, you're going to have such a different experience. You'll have freedom in your body, freedom in your mind. You will be in integrity with your values, and you'll feel good about it.
Okay.
Cool?
Cool.
Anything else you want to share?
No, that's it. I'm motivated after watching that movie. I'm back in it.
All right, so this is what I want you to understand, okay? I was able to get you guys to watch this thing, but what I need to have you guys really understand is the power of daily feeding your mind with audio, with reading. That kind of stuff will keep you inspired, keep you thinking about what do I need to be doing? Where am I selling myself short? Where am I letting blinders fall over my eyes? Whenever you are engaged in a daily personal development practice of reading or listening, then you stay in this state that you're feeling right now. Says, holy cow, I got to do something about this. And you say, I've got to wake up. I've got to do this. And that's why I'm such a proponent of daily personal development. Carve out that time. You know, I send the little clips and audios through text for the team, but I need you to take responsibility, and I need you to make this a part of your life. And when you do, you are constantly flooding yourself with the bright ideas and wake up material that's going to keep you on fire and keep you progressing. But so this, what you're feeling right now from a setup movie, it's going to wear off in a week. And then what?
Yeah.
That's why it's important that you do it every day.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. You made me awesome stuff to work with. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. Anything else you want to add?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Rock on. Fantastic. So, so my assignment for you is I want to see a prep photo. I want to see a photo after you've been to Sprouts. Feel free to send us a photo while you're at Sprouts. But your job is prep photo to show me that you are getting that stuff done and that you're taking seriously what you got to set up. Deal?
Deal.
Okay. Awesome. Now, if I showed you right here, I just got back from Sprouts myself. Let me see if you can see it. Hey, I got all my groceries sitting on my table to be put away. Okay, because I'm using Sunday as my prep day too. And so I literally pulled into my driveway like 5 minutes before this call. So, but it's important. This is the time, and I've got to do it. And if I don't, then I pay the price all week. So, all right, awesome, fantastic. We are moving on. We are going to Felicia. You got the gist of this. Basically, the focus. I'm going to mute Deanna, and we're going to get you unmuted. So, Felicia, the whole idea. And I may be incorrect in thinking that this is your first call, but it might be.
No, it is.
But the whole idea, okay, cool. So the whole idea, we went into a lot of different things.
I can't hear you. Sorry.
Let's see. Hang on.
I don't know if it's me or you.
Okay. Was I cutting out because of just a stream issue? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. It's probably just a streaming delay. So the focus is, what is the best thing that's happening right now? What is worthy of celebrating? What are you doing better than anything else? Something that you're doing now that you may not have been doing 30 days ago, or something you're doing this week that you didn't do until you started becoming a part of this process. And then the flip side of that is, where are you struggling most? What are you finding to be the hardest part of this journey for you? And it could be relationship based. It could be something completely unrelated to, the direct nutrition plan or fitness. It could be that you've got a negative friend that keeps knocking you off course. Who knows what it is, but I just want to hear from you is what's worthy of celebration and what's your biggest struggle. So take it away.
Okay. Worthy of celebration is I'm prepping very well. I'm kind of following a lot of, I work with Catherine, that I know that you know that. And so, I have, even before I joined, I was very interested in what she was doing. And so I've been doing that every week. Actually, I have groceries on my my kitchen table right now too, because we just got back from the grocery store. And so I'm going to get in there. My husband's going to grill me some chicken for the week for dinners. And so that's something that's been really good. That's been different that I've done in the past. One struggle that I have, actually I can think of two, but one is that I find myself hungry a lot. And I know I'm on like the lowest of the plan, and but I've been staying steadfast. And I think that the reason that I'm slipping sometimes is because I'm hungry. I'm running in, I'll grab this, I'll grab that. And so I'm really trying to stay steadfast, but for me to get a 10 is a really big deal on nutrition. I was my first week I had no movement in weight, and so I was pretty pissed off, but I stayed strong anyway. And then within the next couple of weeks, I first of all stayed off the scale. I just did what I needed to do, and I stayed off the scale. And because I just kept getting madder and madder. And so then when I did finally weigh, I was down about 5 pounds, which is a really big deal. And I was like on a high this week, and I don't really know how transparent we are here, but, I have this cycle going on, which, makes me gain all that back. And so I'm back to being hacked off again, but I still have my preps. And so I'm not giving up, but I have to say it is discouraging, to kind of have that battle with, plus being hungry and kind of doing that. So, but I'm not wavering. I'm still doing my workouts 3 days a week, like we talked about, and I'm still doing my prepping.
Okay, so you've given me a couple things to work with here. So the first thing is awesome on the prep. That's huge. Just like we were talking about before, prep is everything, and you've seen Catherine's prep. She's a prep machine, and that's everything. It's good. So fantastic on that. Keep that going. Now, on the hungry side, being hungry is actually a good thing, because what that says is that your metabolism is on, and that your metabolic fire is doing its thing, and that's what we're after. Now, we don't want you to be so hungry that you can't focus and you're biting people's heads off and you're about to eat your own arm. That's not what we're after. Okay?
Yeah, that's kind of where I am a couple of times a day.
Okay. So if you're there, it may not be a bad idea to add in an extra serving of protein and an extra serving of fat. Okay. So add one more. We're not going to take you to the full next level. Okay. I want you to add one more serving of protein, and I want you to add one more serving of fat. Deal? Okay. Now, on your cycle and on menstruation, all that kind of stuff, you're probably retaining water. So just recognize that that's water weight, and that's cool. This is, and Gina and I have been having a conversation about this too, is that, she has expected herself to lose more weight, but I want to remind you, Catherine, when she first got onto this team, she lost 10 pounds in a week, and then she didn't lose anything for like 2 weeks. I don't know if you've talked to her about this or not, but in general, a good, healthy rate of loss, 1 to 2 pounds a week, is a good, healthy rate of loss. So if you're hitting on average a pound a week, or you're hitting on average 2 pounds a week, that's excellent. You should not expect to be doing more than that consistently over a long period of time.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I'm very happy with that. If I can hit that, I'm very content. I think it's just the whole gaining back, and I know my mind tells me I know why it is, but it still doesn't. It's still difficult to process.
Okay, so. And also don't just look at your journey by the scale. You're looking at how are your clothes fitting, and does your scale do body fat composition by any chance?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, that's a fun thing to monitor, because while what you may find, especially the first time that you go through a fitness journey, you're going to be adding muscle mass, and muscle is much more dense than fat. And so while your weight stays the same, your composition, you're building muscle while you're losing fat. And so you're gonna shrink, your body's gonna become more dense and compact, but your weight's gonna stay the same. Or in some cases, some people even get heavier on the scale, but they're getting smaller and tighter and more dense because of the muscle mass. And as you build that muscle mass, your metabolism is heating up. And so that's an excellent thing. And so that way you're burning more calories all day long as you add that lean muscle mass. So let's get through the cycle. Let's add that extra protein. Let's add that extra fat, and let's check in a week and see if we have minimized the wanting to eat your arm. Sound good?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Now, still the 3 days a week on the working out.
Yeah, leave that there. So you've been doing that a while. Are you ready to increase your activity to 5 days a week? Do you think that's realistic and not overly ambitious for you?
Well, I kind of thought about doing it this week, doing 4 days this week. It didn't work out because one morning my alarm didn't go off. I was going to do 4 this week. Is 4 cool? I can try 4 this week.
Let's do it. Yeah, so basically what you're looking at, you're doing the 30-minute workouts, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's an extra 400 calories you're burning per week. So let's not move your nutrition plan. Let's just do what we talked about. Let's take that one more protein and one more fat per day. Okay, and then let's see how you do with your 4 workouts, and let's monitor your hunger. Again, hunger is good. You should be getting hungry every 2 to 3 hours.
Okay.
But if you're hungry all day and cranky, then we probably do need to consider adding some more, like we're going to do, and we may even take you up to the next level. Okay. And one thing I want to remind you of is that Catherine's a good example of this. Catherine came to this project eating 1,400 a day. We took her up to 1,800 a day, and she began to melt faster. And so and we've got to find that sweet spot, and it's kind of a living process. Okay. So just be open that we may build you up a little bit higher on the calories just to heat up your metabolism some more. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Now, are you, we talked about this personal development with Deanna. Are you feeding your mind? Are you listening to an audio? Do you have a book? Do you need a suggestion? Did you take seriously the bread for the head part of that welcome letter?
I haven't been watching the videos regularly. I watched Fed Up within the year, but I want to watch it again. So I have it on the docket to happen one evening. I'd like to invite my husband to watch it with me is what I'm hoping. And so I'm hoping maybe this evening or tomorrow evening I can say, hey, I have to do this for my homework. You want to watch it with me?
Okay, so remember on the welcome letter, there's a part that's called Bread for the Head, and it's a link to 200 MP3s and audios, or MP3 audios and PDFs. Inside there, you're going to get the most amazing insights into time management, relationship management, anger issues, frustration issues. I want you to download that, and I want you to go revisit that section of the welcome letter. And there's several getting started recommendations: Strength for Life, Mastery. These are all titles that have really important components in it for this journey. And I want you to begin, like I was talking to Deanna, I want you to make it a habit of listening to at least 10 minutes of one of these every day, listening or reading. You can download them to your Kindle, you can download them to your phone, whatever you want to do. But this is the part. If you talk to anybody on this team that has had remarkable results, the personal development component, getting your mind right, is the first and foremost thing that must happen, because you're going to be faced with all kinds of obstacles, all kinds of challenges. And if your mind is not right and you've got this inner critical voice that's telling you this is too hard, I can't do it, that inner critical voice is going to win. And the only way to reprogram that inner critical voice is to flood yourself on a regular basis with inspiring ideas, motivating ideas, and brilliant people's thoughts. And those are going to come from these MP3s and audios. It's huge. Okay? Awesome. Fantastic. This will change your life if you'll do it. And you can talk to some of the other people. I know Kristen has adopted this. Michelle Cook, she's lost 64 pounds. She's kept it off for over a year and a half. It's like personal development is everything. Feeding your mind is more important than feeding your body. It really is. And if you'll feed your mind right, you will feed your body correctly. You will. Cool?
Okay.
Awesome. Fantastic. Anything else you want to add?
Well, I just have like a technical question. I see that some people have, instead of their video, you can see a little icon. How does that happen?
You've got to go into Zoom and choose a profile photo. So when you turn your video off, your profile picture will come up.
Okay.
Rock on. So glad that you're here. Glad that we got a chance to meet. I'll be up at the school doing more stuff. So I'm glad to have you on the team, and looking forward to your posts. All right, awesome. I'm going to mute you out, and then we're going to go to Miss Marjorie. You're up next. All right, Miss Marjorie, you're on.
Hi there. Okay.
Woo!
Hey, this is my first time using Zoom, so I'm excited. It's actually working this time.
Yay, good. Awesome. Well, I'm glad to see you.
All right, so I've been doing pretty well the last few weeks that you've been gone. I've been really consistent with my exercise. Really, at this point, it's not a struggle anymore. I've decided that it's not even an option. So I just so I've been consistently doing it 6 days a week for 3 months now, and it's not even a struggle. I wake up. I've been going to the 5 a.m. CG, so that's been a little tough, but even that's not a problem. I just go to bed at 8 now, which is so sad for a 30-year-old going to bed at 8.
Well,
but
Benjamin Franklin was onto something. We said early to bed, early to rise, and you're probably starting to feel that. There's some magic that happens when you start doing that. And I love waking up early in the morning, 5 or 5:30, you know, and so that's the magical part of the day when you get to invest in yourself. And even furthermore than that, the hours that we go to bed before midnight, that sleep is twice as effective as the sleep after midnight. And so you got some really good things going on there, and you should be feeling that extra mojo, that extra juice because of those choices. So that's excellent. I support it fully.
And my body's actually ready to go to sleep about that time now. So it's kind of like it knows. And then I'm able to wake up at 4:15 without an issue to go to CG. So so I've been doing well there. I've been consistent with the workouts. I've been consistent with my nutrition. I'm kind of participating in the nutrition challenge in that I wanted to do it for the dunk so that I could have more feedback to give to you. Help me with why my weight isn't moving as much. However, I did stick with the 40, 30, what is it? 40, 30, 30, whatever the cutting phase is for the beast. Good. Yeah. The macro breakdown is recommended by the nutrition challenge. That's not correct. That's not where you want to be. So good. Yeah. Okay, I'm not doing that. I'm following the one for the cutting phase of Body Beast. Good. Whatever that is. So, but I did stick with the calories that they're wanting me to do because I realized I was eating less and I'm actually seeing a difference in the way my clothing is fitting. I haven't been measuring or getting on the scale until after this, after the nutrition challenge. I'll do that. But I am noticing that my energy is better. I was really in a slump in the afternoons. I couldn't study. I couldn't get through my work in the afternoon time, especially on days that I worked really hard at CG. So I found that upping my calories has helped in that. And then I feel like my waist and my thighs, which is my problem area, seems to be getting smaller. I don't know. I'll know for sure at the end. And so this is an example of we did a calorie increase and now you're seeing better results, correct? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so we suspected that may be the case, and we were just kind of experimenting with which way we needed to go. So awesome, that's good. All right, let's just keep monitoring that and seeing what happens. Yeah, eating less is not always the option. In fact, most people starve themselves, and they wonder why they can't lose weight. So that's fantastic. I'm glad to hear this. This is good feedback. All right, awesome. Okay, so as far as where you need to focus, where do you need to put your energy and attention for the next 7 days? If you did this one thing that you're struggling with, it would make the most difference in your week, what would you say that is? I'd probably say for this next week, I'll work on my timing. I'm getting my meals in, but in the mornings it's fine. But once I pack up and go to work, then I kind of get really focused into work and my timing gets thrown off in the afternoon. But the mornings are great. I'm on it every 2.5 hours. But cool. Pack up and go. So timing probably. All right, I want to suggest something. I started using these protein puddings from Vitamin Shop. And protein pudding, it's 30 grams of protein in the bigger puddings. The small ones, in fact, let me get some out of the fridge. I want to show you. Okay, so this is by MHP. Let's see if you can see it. Let's see if it'll focus. All right, so these run about $2.50 a piece, 30 grams of protein. So it's like a chicken breast. You know, it really is. They don't have to be refrigerated. You can take them with you. They have smaller ones that are 15 grams of protein, so they're basically half the size. So you can grab one of these too. But these are awesome for quick protein on the go. Doesn't have to be refrigerated. Now, as far as there is sucralose in them, so it's not like the super most clean food. And I have to say that I don't go 100% clean. I pick and choose my battles, you know, and that's for us to decide individually. Make sense? Yeah. And that's probably a good idea for days that I don't go to work to the hospital every day, but I kind of feel some kind of way with bringing my food in an area where there are doctors and physical therapists. Everyone's hands is everywhere. I kind of feel funny eating there. So that might be something quick to like throw in my mouth and put it away and get back to work. You know, I say don't be embarrassed about eating. You're actually being a good example. And what I've seen in the health industry is that the people that are in the most trouble, they're having the biggest problems with their health,
are nurses. Number 2 are teachers. And we have a lot of those on the team. You know what I mean? So, yeah, okay, police, you can relate.
Because after watching Fed Up, I told you, I've been a nurse for 10 years, and I had no idea. Like, a lot of that stuff was eye-opening. Now, I have heard of it in the past year since I've started working with you and CG. My eyes were open, so it wasn't brand new hearing that stuff. But up until then, I've been a nurse for 9 years up until this point. You know what I mean? And so
Yep.
I wasn't really aware.
Yeah, and most medical professionals are. Doctors, in this day and age, doctors are not trying to get to the root cause. They're just treating symptoms. And because it is a sick business model. The food industry is creating the medical industry. It's a mess. And people will say, "Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist." I said, "Hell no, I'm not. Just take a look. Just take a look at the web. Take a look at what's going on. There's no conspiracy here. We got problems, major problems. So I would encourage you, eat your food in public. And when people ask you what you're doing, tell them. This is important. This is why I do it. And as they see you, this is the best model that you can be, because they're going to see your changes, and they will understand from your actions, not from your words, what really works. Makes sense?
Sounds good.
So I encourage you to just keep it doing it and do it publicly.
I have a question about.
You don't have to preach, though.
I have a question about the My Fitness Pal app. Now I'm trying to keep track of my calories and my macros through it to make sure that I'm getting it all in. Do I follow the graph, or should I be following the grams part of it? Because
I don't. Yeah, I don't use My Fitness Pal. I've played with it a little bit. I don't use it because basically my theory and philosophy is that when you focus on getting your portions in correctly and you follow it, this is like, I'm going to back up. I'm going to give you a metaphor. So if your job is to frame a house, so your job is to build a house, if you were to take a 2x4 unmeasured and nail that sucker into place and then measure it after the fact, and you do that consistently, what is your house going to look like?
Crazy.
Right. It's going to be a Dr. Seuss concoction is what it's going to be. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be inefficient. It's going to be lopsided. It's going to be an absolute mess. So what I see most people doing, the mistakes they're making, is that they're not measuring their food, and they are consuming food unmeasured, and they plug it into MyFitnessPal, measuring it after they've consumed it to see, okay, what were my numbers? And then they've got to adjust their habits and behaviors without a whole lot of knowledge and understanding of where they need to be. They just keep making it. Like it's like if you were to frame out a house and then you have to go frame out another house, but this time you think you have a little bit better idea, but you're not still using a measuring tape. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's kind of silly. And so what's so beautiful about the whole portion fix is that if you will get those, if you use those containers, if you will follow those portions, you don't have to go track your stuff into MyFitnessPal. You've already measured. It's already done. It's the whole concept of measure twice, cut once. Measure your food, then forget about it. You don't have to track it after the fact. So if you're following your portions and you're being diligent about that, you're saving yourself time. Makes sense?
So
that's my philosophy.
So find the calorie bracket that I'm in now. So I went up to 2,000 at this point. Find that in the fix, and it's going to be that 40-30-30 or 30-40-30.
If you will look at the beast mode worksheet that I've got, okay. The beast phase that starts at 1,800 and goes up. Make sense?
Okay.
So
follow.
And so that's something that I designed for my own process. And it sounds like you're going to be in that. Actually, the highest fixed bracket, the highest fixed bracket is the 18. I think it's 1,800 to 1,800 to 2,099 or something like that. I can't remember exactly right off the head, but it gets into that range. So the tweak is with the beast mode one, I went through and made sure that was a 40-30-30, 40 protein, 30 fat, 30 carb. Made sure that it was a 40-30-30 breakdown at higher levels of calories. Make sense?
Okay, so I'm going to go by that one.
Yeah, go look at that and just give me feedback. Says, Josh, this is what I found. This is what I'm doing. and I'll just give you a thumbs up. So, okay, yep, I'm in alignment with that. So good?
Yeah.
Okay, rock on, cool. Okay, so timing can improve, and we're going to make sure that we're on that calorie range. So you were at, before you went for the dunk, you were at the 1,500 to 1,799 range, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so that bump another, that bump to the next level, another 300 to 400 calories, starting to see those changes. Okay, cool,
Yeah.
awesome, great. Okay, cool. That's an important thing to know, because that, Felicia, like we talked about, that may be what we end up doing. We shall see. Cool.
Well,
All right, I'm not sure if Felicia's still with us or not. You're welcome. Thanks for being on the call, and look forward to your check-ins for the day, or for the week. All right, I'm going to mute you out, and we're going to go to, I think it was Kristen at, no, hang on, that's Gina. Gina's at 4020. All right, Gina, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Thank you for your patience. We've had a really cool call, a lot of cool subjects covered. So I want you to share with us your biggest celebratory thing over the last week to 30 days. What are you most excited about? What are you doing best? What are you enjoying most? And then we'll look at the flip side of things.
I would have to say for the past 30 days has just been my consistency as far as my physical activity. Fortunately, my husband is doing this with me, so we are doing CG 4 to 5 times a week. So I'm very proud of that. I mean, I've worked out pretty regularly for the past 15 years, but it's been a couple of weight nights at the gym, then on my own to do cardio, which sometimes would work and sometimes wouldn't. So being this consistent 4 to 5 days a week, I think is awesome for me personally.
Cool.
The thing that I continue to struggle with, you and I've talked about this over the past 30 days, I kind of felt like that I would have dropped a little bit more weight. But in listening to you talk to a couple of these other ladies, it was a reminder to me that, and I know this, but I just kind of lost sight of it, is that whenever you do build muscle, and I have a decent amount of muscle, it does weigh more than fat. And I have never liked to use the scale as a gauge, ever, because I think sometimes it brings more disappointment than it does positivity to your life when you're working on something like this. But after the 30 days, I did make myself get on. And again, I wasn't as excited as I wanted it to be, and it was really kind of disheartening. But I had to remind myself, too, that my muscle gain is pretty good, especially in my lower body, my legs and all. So that has been the positive. The thing that I struggle with sometimes, and it kind of depends on my meeting schedule at work and what I've got going on at work, is keeping consistent with eating every 2 to 3 hours. I'm definitely ready to eat, but sometimes I have meetings during those times that I need to be eating, so it kind of messes that up a little bit. And then I'm still struggling with sugar cravings. They're not as bad as they used to be, but especially after I've had a really good savory meal, and I've been like this all my life, I want something sweet. And so I still battle that. That's kind of a demon for me, unfortunately. Like I said, it's gotten better, but I wish I say this, I wish that I could devote myself to doing 7 to 10 days without sugar, but I don't know personally if I'm strong enough to do that, and I don't want to set myself up for disappointment. I've thought about it.
I've got a suggestion for you.
Okay.
Have you ever tried just having a little piece of dark chocolate, like a 70 to 80% cacao dark chocolate, to satiate that sweet tooth? I
have.
Okay, and how has that worked? That's not a bad option.
At the time, it's fine, but it's like it doesn't take care of it for long enough, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I mean, it's like an immediate fix, but it doesn't hang in there long enough for me, and I don't know what it is. I feel like just like being an addict to anything else all my life, sugar has just been it for me. And interestingly enough, no one else in my family is like this.
I have a
None of
suggestion for
my
you.
Okay, what is it? I want it.
I want you to consider doing the 3-day refresh. The 3-day refresh is going to cleanse your body. It's going to be 3 days. It's going to be hella hard, but at the end of the 3 days, I guarantee you something is going to change for you.
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay.
I want it to.
All right, so,
I need that
yeah.
too, more than anything else. I need to try and get myself away from this because it's the only thing that I feel like kind of hampers me. And
okay, so I'll tell you, you're going to go through a crazy detox. It's going to be a detox. It's going to be 3 days. Whenever I did it, I got a ridiculous headache on day 2. And I could tell it was a detox headache, and I just had to just chill and breathe and relax and just let my body dump all the crap that was in my body. And so it may be easy for you. It was hell for my girlfriend Sandra too. So, but after day 1, everything you're okay. It's a low calorie, it's like 970 calories is what you're intaking for those 3 days. But it is designed to cleanse you from the inside out in a very short amount of time. So the 3-day refresh. So you can, I'll send you a link after this 3-day refresh. You can just go to your Beachbody website and order it. And it'll send you everything you need to know along with instructions on exactly how to do it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And when you do it,
is my husband going to serve me with divorce papers?
Well, I would just warn him. Just let him know. Don't plan on doing anything this week, the weekend you do this. Okay.
Okay.
Don't plan on anything. Plan on being home. Plan on cocooning. Plan on being gentle. Plan on going through possibly an emotional experience. Okay.
Okay. Now let me ask you this: during those 3 days, because my calorie intake is going to be much lower than it is now, or some lower than it is now, do I work out those 3 days?
Do not. No, don't work out.
Do not.
So
Okay.
No, don't work out. You may just go for a easy, relaxing walk. Yeah, maybe some 15 minutes or 20 minutes of light stretching, but you're not gonna want to work out. And let your energy be to cleanse your internal organs. That's what you're going to be focusing on. Cool. Okay. So I'll send a link on that.
Okay.
So yeah, I think this would be a good solution to kicking that. I really do.
Okay.
So I'm excited to hear it.
Okay, good, because I feel really good about everything. Honestly, I mean, I love good food. That is not a struggle for me. I mean, you see what I post about what I went to the farmer's market yesterday, and I love really good fresh food, and I eat the right things. Water is simple for me. I can blow through a gallon of water a day. My physical activity is good, but damn, if sugar just wasn't a part of my life ever, I really feel like that I would be 15 pounds lighter. I would just, I don't know. It's just been a blessing on my back.
And did you watch the Fed Up movie?
I did watch the Fed Up movie, and it was so disenchanting. And even today, I took my mother-in-law shopping. I take her every Sunday, and as we're strolling down the aisle, because she moves very slowly now, just waiting for her, I was really taking in labels on aisles that I don't even really shop on. And the labels were just ridiculous, and it all just seemed like such a farce. Now that I've watched that, it's like, 97% fat free and less sugar and less salt. And it's like, really, it's almost insulting to me that I've watched that.
It is, and good.
No.
Yeah, it is. And basically, the food companies are preying on people's ignorance, and we have this assumption that the FDA and the other government entities are out there policing these companies, protecting us, and they're not. There's nobody that's going to protect us except ourselves, and that's a big part of this program. It really is.
Exactly.
Cool, awesome. Okay, so 3-day refresh is going to be our focus. That's what we're going to work on. And if you can do it next weekend, great. If it takes you a couple weeks to clear your schedule and make it happen, then so be it. Awesome. Okay. Anything else you want to add?
No, it's been, awesome listening to everybody. Even though I've been doing this for 30 days now, this is the first time I've got to participate in a call. So
good.
It's been good. It's been very good listening to everybody and your input. And I think this is a great way to do this. So
Good.
Thank you.
Good. Well, I don't have any plans to be gone. Every once in a while, I've got to push it aside.
Right. You've got life. You've got a life. You've got things. So. Oh.
I think that was.
Oh, there you are.
Am I back? Okay. The whole idea that I had to have you guys watch Fed Up, the idea I had to have you guys watch Fed Up, I think served this team very, very well. And
I agree.
And I hope that there's a few people on the team that haven't done it, haven't taken it seriously, and I hope they would, because it'll change the game for them. It really will. So.
Well, and Scott hasn't watched it, but I plan on him watching it too.
Cool. Awesome.
So, yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. Awesome. Well, I think we're going to wrap this up with the person that's been doing the Fed Up No Sugar Challenge, and she let me know that she's lost 6 pounds in 1 week by doing that. So I'm going to unmute Kristen, and I'm going to let her talk. So let's see, Kristen, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can, loud and clear. I'm really excited to hear from you today.
Me too. I almost forgot, and then my alarm started going off, and I was like, oh, no, I need to call.
Yeah, I want to hear from you. So let's start off. Let's celebrate. What do you want to talk about that you've been doing best of? You've been doing the no sugar thing. You've lost 6 pounds, but I'm going to let you talk about that. So go for it.
Well, before I go for that, sometimes whenever I'm muted on the call and I hear somebody else struggling, I want to say something, but I want Gina to know that I have the same struggle with sugar because I'm obsessed with anything sweet, and I don't want to have like just a little bite of dark chocolate. I want to have like an entire cake of dark chocolate. So I feel her pain, and I know it's hard. And also, I'll talk to you later about it, but I am interested in that 3-day refresh too.
Okay, cool.
But
let me stop right there. You've given me something that needs to be talked about. Okay, so part of me handling my cravings, because I have them too. I do. And so one of the things that I do is that Wednesdays and Saturdays, those are my off plan. Those are my cheat meals. Wednesday evening, Saturday evening. And typically what I'll do at the end of that meal, I will have either some dark chocolate, or I'll have some cheesecake, or I'll have something of that nature. I'll have a small piece. It helps me get my sugar craving out of the way. I enjoy it. And when I'm done, I'm done. And I know that's a whole other subject that you and I have talked about. But especially for Felicia and Gina that are kind of new to the team, I really want to talk about giving yourself permission to have that cheat meal. Schedule it. Make it special. Make sure you're getting out of the house so you don't keep crap in the house, that you're out, you're done, and you come home and you're in a safe, sacred environment with good, clean, healthy food again. So I just wanted to piggyback off of what you were talking about as far as one possible way of managing those cravings is to make sure that you're giving yourself permission twice a week to have something. Okay, so back to you on that.
All right. Yeah, because I've struggled with that sort of thing, and it's hard because if you feel like you are like addicted to food or sugar, it's not like being addicted to alcohol because you don't abstain from it 100%. You have to figure out a balance. Like there's no other choice. So yes, I think it's a struggle. But this last weekend or whenever it was, I watched the Fed Up movie, and I don't know what made me do it. I was just like, well, I think I ought to try it. And then I was like, I'm going to, because why not? And it came at a perfect time because ever since Christmas, I've put on probably 10 to 15 pounds. I've stayed off the scale because which I really need to be staying back on the scale to help me keep track and everything. But I did get on the scale last week, the day that I was going to start the Fed Up Challenge. And then I got on the scale today, and I weighed 6 pounds less, which is awesome because I really want to get that back off, And so what I was thinking is I'm thinking about doing this sort of like in cycles, like 10 days, because you and I have talked about how I have trouble with the cheating. It's really an issue for me, like being able to keep it in check to a small amount. That's my problem. And so I've been thinking about doing the Fed Up thing like in 10-day cycles. Like I do 10 days of this and then have like a cheat meal, and then the next day start another cycle of it, because I mean, obviously it gave me good results, and you feel like, you're just eating a lot cleaner. And even today, whenever I went to the grocery store, I mean, like my kids know I'm doing it, and we're actually watching it tonight. That's our family movie night, and it's going to be my husband, my kids, my niece, and my sister-in-law. And whenever I was looking for stuff, it was ridiculous to me. I couldn't find a single Greek yogurt in the whole entire store that had no sugar or artificial sugar in it. There was none.
Yeah. Where were you?
At Kroger.
Okay.
So I'll be able to find it somewhere else, I'm sure. But there, you know, it's like, geez.
Yep.
You should talk to him. Go with Tammy. I'm have fun. All right. Sorry, I have a kid melting down.
That's okay. I want to acknowledge you and just kudos to you for sharing this with your family, for having a family movie night around this. That's huge. That's really, really big.
Yeah, they've seen me over the past a little more than a year now, getting healthy, and they eat a lot more fruit and vegetables than they did a year and a half ago. But now it's sort of like taking it to the next level where I don't want them to have like a food issue where they feel like I'm depriving them, but I want them to pay attention to what stuff means. Because while we were looking in the store, for instance, my son was like, Mom, here's plain Greek yogurt. That means no sugar, right? It says all natural. And I had to show him like, no, that's not really what it means.
Yep. It's deceiving. It's deceitful. It's crazy. It's nuts. Well, and something else I want to acknowledge is that this process is that we've got to be open to experimenting. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it sounds like there's a hammer in the background or something like that.
I don't know. Is it gone?
Weird. It is gone. Yes. Yeah. It sounded like somebody was hammering a nail into the wood. But I want to recognize that your journey has gone through several different chapters and phases where you begin to understand a little bit more. You think you understand, and then all of a sudden you have new insights, and you understand things to deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper degrees. And that's going to keep on happening as long as you stay a student and you keep on learning and you keep being open. You keep using your body as a laboratory. And I want to acknowledge you for that, because that's what this takes. Yeah, and Marjorie's been doing her degree of that too, and I think that's fantastic. You know, so so I'll get you the information on the 3-day refresh. So as far as, let's talk about the next 7 days. What is it? Where's your focus? Is it to continue to stay with this no sugar challenge? Where is your intention right now?
Well, my intention is to finish the 10 days of the no sugar challenge and keep on my nutrition and, you know, try to feel the difference of that. And, I mean, a big part of me wants, like yesterday I was having really bad cravings and I was like, well, I cannot wait until Thursday because I'm just going to eat whatever I want. But then, you know, by the evening time, whenever you pass that moment, then that's whenever I'm going, man, I'm glad that I'm on this challenge because now I don't feel that way anymore. I feel like I'll just eat, you know what I mean? Like your mind just plays tricks on you. Like my mind is always telling me like, eat this, eat this, eat this.
Okay, so you give me another subject to talk about. So I call it surfing. It's mental surfing. And so we'll have this giant wave of emotion come through us. Like, I can't wait to be done with this. Oh, this is driving me crazy. It's making me angry, whatever it is. And this is where we've got to do the mental emotional work. This is where we've got to understand what our go-tos are to help us to surf these waves, because they're emotional waves. And if we can learn how to surf these waves, go to our breath, or go for a walk outside, or go listen to a piece of inspiring music, that wave will pass and you'll become into a more peaceful, more balanced, more equanimous mind, and you won't make those crazy decisions that end up sabotaging you. Make sense?
Yes, because I just feel like I've gone through weeks of like, I'll do good and then I'll do terrible, and then I'll do good and then I'll do terrible. And it's like, if I just learn how to get past those moments, then I'm good, because I'd say 90% of the time I'm on and I keep in mind why I want to do this and all that. I'm always trying to like listen to stuff to keep myself motivated. And so, I mean, that's sort of my challenge. So this no sugar challenge came at the perfect time, because I'm the type where I'm like, well, I'm doing this, so I'm not going to quit it. And for whatever reason, me telling myself that kept me from eating birthday cake yesterday, whenever maybe a weekend ago when I wasn't doing it, I would go, well, I know I said I wasn't going to cheat until the middle of the week, but I'll just go ahead and have birthday cake.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of brilliant minds say that we need a purpose, and a purpose keeps us on point. And so I think that what happened is you just gave yourself a higher purpose. And because you have that higher purpose, you're able to stay focused. So I think that this is an indication where if you lose this focus for this purpose, you've got to find another purpose to give you direction. Make sense?
Right. Like I need to always have a goal. That's what I was telling myself before I got further along. I was like, I need to always have a goal, but then somewhere in there it gets lost because it really is like your whole culture, everything at work, everything at holidays, every day there's always a reason to eat crappy food because that's how we celebrate things in America.
That's how most people do. You're right.
So I have to sort of break away from that, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm really proud of you. We'll keep it going. Any final thoughts that you want to share before we wrap up the call?
Everybody just keep your mind where you want to go.
Yeah, I mean, really, this whole concept of surfing, just these emotional waves, the cravings, the anger, the frustration, whatever it is, those are temporary emotional occurrences that will pass. And what we've got...
Uh-oh, you cut out. You there?
I don't know. Let's see. Am I back there? I think I'm back. Okay. So what I was saying is that we've got to become emotional surfing experts. And it means when we get a wave of frustration, a wave of doubt, a wave of anxiety, whatever it happens to be, we've got to know that this is going to pass. And that this is just a temporary circumstance that's trying to fool us into quitting. And if this is our lower nature telling us we can't handle this, we've got to know better. We can't be fooled into caving in to that lower tendency. Make sense?
Right. Yes.
And whatever that is for us, maybe we need to go and play with our kids. Maybe we need to go outside and sit on the patio. Whatever it is, we need to know what that action is, what that behavior is that's going to help us to surf that wave. For me, it's meditation. For me, it's going for a walk. When I have those negative thoughts and negative attitudes, I get out and I do something that changes my state. We've got to be good about taking responsibility for changing our state. And that's a very important concept that we've got to get. And thanks for bringing that up. That's huge. So I'm going to go ahead and unmute everybody, and let's see if we got any final thoughts. So everybody's there. Anybody want to share anything, ask any questions, give any final feedback or insights? I'm going to shut up for a second and see what you guys have to say, if anything. So go ahead. You got anything?
I have a quick question. To do the 10 days, I guess, of no sugar, or to do the no sugar, that doesn't count for your fruits, right? That's just artificial sugar, correct?
It's real sugar, but like in your fruit, whenever you look on the ingredients, it's just going to say strawberries or pears. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You don't have anything. You can look on things that say sugar-free, and if it still has artificial sugar listed, then you don't eat it. Or it can say all natural, and then you look on there, well, sugar's natural, so it still can have a ton of sugar in it.
Right, but I mean, are you supposed to stay away from fruit, or is fruit still...
No, you still eat fruit, just your regular serving.
Okay.
Cool. Anybody else?
Josh, I did want to ask a question. This time around, I've also been changing the types of meals that I eat throughout the day. So for instance, I try to have my biggest meal, quote unquote, the one that's going to have my carb, my protein, all of that, because my carbs are limited. I think I get like 1 or 2 yellows, maybe 2 yellows in the morning, because I find that after I do CG, I think it helps me to have a couple of strong meals, and then in the afternoon have my Shakeology, have my yogurt and fruit and stuff like that. Do you know any research about that or have any insight on that?
I do, actually. So typically you want to eat, and for most people, they're most active in the middle of the day. And so for people that are most active in the middle of the day, that's when you want to consume most of your calories. You're most active in the beginning of the day. So that's where you would consume most of your calories. I would agree with you on that. So for me, I work out in the afternoon, and so I have, basically I have 30% of my overall daily calories. I have 30% of my overall daily, hang on one second, let me mute that out. Okay, I consume 30% of my overall daily calories at lunch. That's where the majority of my calories are. So for you, the majority of your calories should come around that time. One extra tip that I encourage people to do is that sugar is your highest, well, so your fruits are your highest concentration of sugar. And so if you want to consume your fruit portions the first half of the day, be done with it the second half of the day, you may see some better results because your body's able to burn those sugars off throughout the rest of the day. So after lunch, be done with your purple, or your fruits. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So I think you're on to something there, and you just kind of intuitively figured that out, and that's great.
Okay. All right. Cool. That was it.
Okay, excellent. Anybody else have anything they want to add? Okay, killer call. Thanks for being here. Encourage the other teammates that you know to be on these calls. I'm going to do a recap of the call, just kind of covering the high points. I'll post the recording. And, feel free to share this recording with your friends. It's going to be unlisted on YouTube. But if you've got friends that are struggling and they need to understand what it is you're doing, it's kind of nebulous what we do until you're engaged in it. So if you want to share these calls with people, share what's going on, feel free to do so. It could change your lives too. All right, that's all that I have. Have a fantastic rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you guys on the group page. Take care, guys. Bye.
Thanks, Josh.
You bet.